Hey creative, what's up? It's your girl Jamila and welcome back to my laboratory. Y'all, I'm super excited about this video because your girl got a sublimation oven. I got mine from Pro World, and of course that along with everything else I use will be listed in the description box of this video. I really wanted a sublimation oven because with like a tumbler press or a mug press, you're a little bit limited in what you can sublimate on, right? Like with the oven, I'm going to walk you through the process of how I sublimated a 16-ounce tapered tumbler, a 40-ounce tumbler, some shot glasses. Like there's just so many things that you can do with a sublimation oven that you can't necessarily do with a press, right? So right off the bat, when you open up your box and get your press out, you're going to have your oven, you're going to have a tray, an oven mitt, and some directions that go along with your oven as well. Okay, it's actually very easy to use. It's not really hard at all. So let's get into this oven, honey. Okay, so this is the 25-liter 110-volt sublimation oven from Pro World with the digital control panel. So Pro World has a 25 liter and a 40 liter, I believe. Okay, but this one I'm using in this video is the 25. So it has the digital control panel. To cut it on, you're just going to go ahead and long press the button with the play under it for like 3 seconds, and that's going to power on and also your power off. You can adjust the temperature for the upper and lower tubes as well as the settings for your time for your projects just by turning the knobs. Okay, it has a max 446 degrees, but you know, for sublimation you really only need 400. Okay, and you can set your time between 1 minute and 60 minutes. Okay, so you can set a max timer of 60 minutes and a max temperature of 446 degrees, and you can use this in Fahrenheit and Celsius. You can go ahead and change those settings. And as you can see, the tray is very big. Okay, these are three 16-ounce tumblers and a 40-ounce tumbler all on this tray at one time. So that's why I was really excited to go ahead and grab this oven, because again, with the tumbler you can only do one thing at a time, but with the oven you can do multiple different projects at one time. And of course, the ovens from Pro World and the blanks I'll be using today for this project are from Pro World as well. Okay, so I got a 40-ounce tumbler. Well, for today I'll be using a 40-ounce tumbler, my 16-ounce taper tumbler, a frosted glass, and don't forget your heat gun and some shrink wrap. Okay, now let's go ahead and dive into the project. Okay, creative, there's a couple things we want to do first before we get into the whole sublimation process. So I'm just going to kind of breeze over that real quick. Okay, so first things first, one of the tumblers I'm using is tapered. Okay, hate tapered tumblers so bad. Oh my gosh, they freak me out, intimidate me. But y'all, I'm about to put y'all on. Okay, so for this tapered tumbler we're going to need a template. So we're going to go ahead on to onlinelabels.com. Right, this is what it looks like, the home screen. Once you get there, we're going to hit design and templates, business tools, tapered label generator. Now from here you're going to measure your top circumference, right? So the top of your tumbler, then you're going to measure the bottom of your tumbler, then you're going to measure the height of your tumbler, and we're going to change this wrap coverage to 100%. Okay, wrap coverage is 100%. This corner radius is 0. And leave this container outline checked. So once you enter your dimensions, you're going to go ahead and hit generate tumbler. Generate template, hit download this template, and since I've already done it, I guess it's already saved, but it will ask you to enter your email address. Okay, so you'll need your email address. I guess they want to spam you. I mean, you know, whatever. I gave them a junk email address I don't even use. But anyway, so once you do that, you'll get your download. So this is it, right? But this is a PDF. Now we want to use this in Canva. Well, I'll be using this in Canva, and I'm going to show you how to use it in Canva. So in order to use it in Canva as a template, because you can't open PDFs in Canva, but it'll take you to a document. We don't want that, okay? In order to use this in Canva as a template, we need to convert this PDF to a PNG. So I just Googled PDF to PNG converter and it gave me this website, PDF to PNG.com. It worked. It's cool. Or, you can Google a different one and use that, whatever. Basically, you're going to upload that PDF in here. It's going to convert into a PNG and then you're going to download it. Okay. So once we have that, we're going to go ahead and bring that new PNG over into Canva. And if you can see, here is the template, right? Go ahead and make sure it's selected and remove that background. So now we just kind of have the outline. Let me make a new page just so we can see. Okay, so it's highlighted. Gonna go ahead and remove that background. Okay, and now we're going to bring this box. What happened? Let me go back. Let me delete that. Alright, so I guess before we move the background, let's bring this box as close as possible without cutting these corners off, okay? And this is just going to make our measurements just a little more accurate. You want them as close as possible. Alright, boom, got it. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the background. And let me change the background of my thing. Okay, it worked. Alright, so I can change back to white. So, our background is removed. Now you're just going to go ahead and bring in your image. And just kind of crop this a little bit as well. Bring in your image. Okay, so what we want to do is take this and put it to the top of your page. These rulers or whatever on here are going to be our guides. And if you don't have your rulers, go over here to File, Settings, and Show Rulers and Guides, or hit Shift R on your keyboard, okay? Let me put that away. So, we have our rulers right here, and if you can see, once I select this, it's right here at the 0. You want it at the 0. Now, make this as big as the circumference of your template was, right? So for instance, if mine was 11, I'm just going to go ahead and stretch this out until I get to the 11, either the 11 up here, or I see the 11 pop down right here in this box. But, since our... Where did my thing go? Let me just use this one up here. But since we had to crop this a little bit, it may not be 100% accurate. So what I did is just went with the height, right? I made sure the height was like, if my tumbler was 8 inches, I stretched it out to about 8.2, right? I always like to give myself just a little wiggle room, okay, just to make sure it's correct. So once you have that, I have no idea why my thing has disappeared, but I don't know, that's weird. Okay, so once you have that, now you're going to go ahead and drag your image up here. It's like I can't show you if I don't have the thing. Hold on. Let me grab it again. So I don't know, I'm just going to do it without removing the background, but it works so much easier. Let me try it. Okay, I see the outline. I can still see the outline. I hope y'all can see that too. See it? It's right there. Okay, so perfect. So yeah, you're basically just going to make sure that your image fits in that outline, right? And whatever you put your measurements at, let me put that back in the corner and drag it out. Let's just say our tumbler, let's just say, for the sake of this, that this is the dimensions of our tumbler. This is what we need, right? Now, since we have this, you can leave it like this, it's fine. Or just to make it a little more realistic, we'll hit the R on the keyboard and it's going to bring up a box. And we're going to change this box to white. And we're just going to align this with the edge of the curve. Scoot it over just a little, just a tad bit. Stretch it out. And all of this right here that we don't need, we're going to get as close to the outline as possible without actually cutting it off. And you see how that, take it and duplicate it and repeat the process for the other side. And I just think this helps visually for you to, really see it as a taper, to see the tapering, okay? And let me try it for the bottom and see if that works out as well. See, you can see the whole tapering shape better. And once you have, it designed or whatnot, just go ahead and remove that template. Do not print with that on, okay? Alright, so you could take all of that and you can group it together. So this way, if you need to move this out the way and do the design again, you can do that and you'll still have your sides. So these are my designs that I'm making, right? I have 2 shot glasses, a tapered tumbler, and then I have, let me delete that, and then I have a 40-ounce kind of Stanley Cup kind of deal that I'm going to do. And I'm trying a different method because I just want to do one full print without having to cut all those pieces together instantly. So I'm just making a duplicate of that just in case I mess one up and I can do all this. Now you're probably wondering, what paper are you using? So for my sublimation prints, I don't feel like printing all this one at a time. Okay, y'all know I like to print long. Okay, so the dimensions for my project is 13 by 36. Okay, I'm going to be printing out all my designs on one 36-inch long piece of paper. Now, whatever paper size you're using are the dimensions you're going to want to go ahead and put this. So if you're only using a 13 by 19 size paper, that is what you're going to put, right? When you go to file, wait, hold on, let me go. I would go custom size, you enter your 13 by 19, 8.5 by 14, whatever paper size it is that you're using, you would go ahead and enter that. Now, if you have an Epson printer, I can teach you how to print this long. Okay, with any Epson printer, I'll have that PDF linked in the description box of my video. All right. So if you have an Epson and you want to learn how to print long, make sure you click that bio. So now that we have everything all designed, we're going to, wait, hold on, y'all. Let me just look at this pattern little thing that I created. Isn't this the freaking cutest? Well, some of this I created. I think I got this from Creative Fabrica. I honestly don't know. I've had it for a long time, but I went ahead and added like this printer. That was clip art from Canva that I got. I added this like, basket of, yarn, hot glue guns, the little crickets that you see in there. Like, isn't that so freaking cute? This is gonna be the most adorable tumbler ever. So okay, yeah, so I just added some of that stuff just from different clip arts and things that I've collected over the years. I know I got this in some kind of bundle off Etsy. I think that came from Canva. I think this was part of this bundle off Etsy. Like, I don't know, it just really represents me and who I am, because I like to sew, I like to crochet, all things crafty. Anyway, I just thought that was super cute. I was really proud of myself. This, I just added the text. I think this was from Canva. No, this might have been from Etsy. Yeah, I think that's like an Etsy doodle. But if I can find the links or to the shops where I got these things, I'll go ahead and link that in the description box as well for you guys, okay? So after we have everything, we're going to go over here and hit share. You're going to download. You're going to save this as a PNG to your computer, and then you're just going to go ahead and print from your print from whatever printer it is that you print, okay? So then we'll come back and assemble everything. So here's all my designs already printed out on this one long sheet. And again, if you want to learn how to print this long with your Epson printer, I will have a PDF link in the description box as well as everything else I use for this project, okay? So I just went ahead, this is my tapered tumbler, and I just went ahead and wrapped it. All I did was cut off the excess from the top and the bottom, okay? Now, this 40-ounce tumbler is the little tricky one, okay? So I did remove the handle. It was just one screw on the top and one screw on the bottom, so it's two screws total. And I don't know if all handles are removable, but again, all my blanks are from Pro World, and this one is, okay? So what I'm going to do is, so like when you're sewing, if you want your project to curve, you cut little snips in it, right? So I was like, okay, well, I need my paper to curve around, I need my paper to curve, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some little snips in it. So I measured from the top to the first little indentation on the tumbler, and that's where my first line is. And then I'm just going through and drawing about ½ inch marks throughout the whole line, and I'm going to cut those into little snips, okay? So once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab my tumbler back, and I'm just going to mark where those little indentions are right there where I took the handle off so that I can cut a slit in that as well, and cut a slit so that the paper can lay down flat and I can get a full sublimated tumbler. Okay, now you guys, this is my first time ever sublimating a 40-ounce tumbler. Okay, I'm used to straight skinny tumblers. Anything outside of that would have me running for the hills. So this is really just kind of like an experiment to see how it goes. Fingers crossed that it turns out right. Now, I've seen other people when they're doing these like Stanley tumbler dupes, they do cut it into like three different pieces and piece it back together. But I just wanted to try a little something a little bit different, see if I was able to just sublimate this in one full sheet. So once I have the top taped up, and this is what the tumbler is like, right? It's like kind of all frayed looking and whatnot. So in my head, my thought process was, okay, when you're putting your hair in a ponytail, I'm just going to kind of gather that up like a ponytail, right? Like gather all my pieces up like a ponytail and kind of tape it back together. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm taking my heat tape and I'm going around like the first indentation. I'm trying to make sure that all my pieces are straight. They're not flat. They're not behind each other. And and just kind of tape it down. And it's working. I was like, okay, got me. It's working. The paper is curving around the edge like I wanted it to. So I'm just going to go ahead and tape it all the way up to the top and finish off the project. Like you see, it's working. You see, it's coming together. I'm so excited. So this is what it looked like in the end. And okay, so the idea was there, but the execution not so much. Okay, because some of the pieces of paper are crooked. Some of them are under each other. Um, like I can tell that there's going to be some imperfections, right? But you guys see where I'm going with this vision, right? Like, because it curves around the edge perfectly. So I think that's why I said maybe I cut my strips a little too small because some of them were getting behind each other and, it was a little bit hard to keep them straight. But I mean, first try. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead with that. But so for my Stanley tumbler dupe and my 16-ounce tumbler, I'm sublimating them at 365 degrees and I'm going to go ahead and sublimate them for 6 minutes. Okay, and I'm also, so I turn I set my knobs on my oven to 365, the top and the bottom. They recommend having your top and bottom temperature the same. I'm going to go ahead and use some shrink wrap, and I'm using my heat gun to apply the shrink wrap. Okay, you guys, make sure you have like some heat safe gloves, things like that. Okay, applying the shrink wrap to the Stanley tumbler dupe and the taper tumbler. Now they don't take the same shrink wrap, okay? Different projects require different size shrink wraps. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're doing these things, okay? Um, so yeah, so I went ahead and put the shrink wrap on there. I'm just making sure that the shrink wrap is just tight enough, okay? Like once it starts shrinking, I just move along, okay? I don't just hold the gun over no one area for, to a prolonged amount of time because the heat from the heat gun can start activating your sublimation ink. All right, and that'll get your project cooking and then it can be burnt and things like that, right? So once it starts shrinking, turn it over and move along. So it's in the oven for 6 minutes, but at 3 minutes, I will turn it over. And I'm just kind of taking it out and peeking at it. And my rule of thumb is like once you can see your design coming through, your design is done. Okay, so you might not need the full. I think I did the full 6 minutes for the Stanley Tumbler dupe, but this one looked a little faded. It didn't really, like look like the design was all the way through. So I put it back in the oven for about 2 minutes. Okay, so that's how I did that. And then, of course, while that was in the oven, I went ahead and removed the paper. And y'all, this looks so good. For my first time and the method I chose, I think it came out great. Of course, I knew there were going to be some imperfections. Like you can see where some of the images didn't line back up, or at the bottom, it looks like I didn't have enough pressure. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I think that actually came out really good. I'm so excited. I'm definitely going to go ahead and try that again. So I went ahead and did my frosted tumblers. Frosted tumblers need to be sublimated for 10 minutes. So that's why I didn't do them together with my other glasses, right? So my shot glasses and I have a frosted Libby tumbler. I put those in there again at 365 degrees, but I sublimated those for 10 minutes, turning them at 5 minutes, all right? And then once I removed the wrap from my tapered tumbler, yeah, the way we designed it, that template we made and things like that, it worked. I'm never going to be scared of a tapered tumbler again, okay? We've conquered tapered tumblers. Now, when you're using this oven, again, you guys make sure you're using some heat resistant gloves. When I pull my blanks out, I peel immediately. I know some people let it cool all the way down, but I just remove when it's hot. And y'all, look at this. Look at this. So we did it, y'all. That's my first time ever sublimating a tapered tumbler, okay? I'm a 20-ounce skinny straight kind of girl. But this is how the tumbler came out. This is, man, I love it. I absolutely love this design. The blank is beautiful because, not all sublimation blanks are the same, okay, you guys? Some of them, This is the frosted glass. I love how that design came out as well. Y'all, I'm actually very satisfied with every project that we just did, except one of them. But I'll show you that and I'll tell you why in a second. Here's the frosted shot glass. That looks gorgeous. I think these would be great for bachelorette parties, girls' nights, weddings, things like that. Be able to customize game nights, customize shot glasses for those kind of occasions. And so that's the frosted shot glass. This is the gold rim shot glass. Now I took this out at 5 minutes because it wasn't frosted. So I was like, okay, maybe it doesn't need to stay in there the full 10 minutes, but I gotta try that again and leave it in there for 10 minutes and see if I get better results, okay? And of course, this is my little Stanley dupe. I mean, it's not perfect, but I really love how it came out. I think I did a really good job of like fully sublimating that with the technique I had in mind. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Of course, everything will be listed in the description box of this video. And until next time, I'll see you later.